quietly taking notes. Okay, so tabular division. Let's look at the 4 problems that you had for homework. We have 2x squared minus 7x minus 4 over x minus 4. Okay, so for your homework, everything that we did was done on a 2 by 2 square, because all of your homework I gave you started with an x squared and was being divided by just an x, okay? So normally the way we figure out the rows, okay, everybody paying attention? Everybody's taking notes and writing this in your notes so that when we do harder problems, you don't say, how do you know what the rows are? Is everybody writing it down? Okay. The way we figure out the rows, we take the exponent on the bottom. Now, what is the exponent on the bottom in this example? 1, because there's a 1 right there. So we take the exponent on the bottom, and then we add 1, and we get 2. Now, to figure out the columns, we take the difference in the exponents. So the exponent on top is a 2, and the exponent on the bottom is a 1, so it's 2 minus 1. And then we add 1. We always add 1. So in this case, it'll equal 2. All of the problems that I gave for you for homework will work out like that, 2 by 2. You need to be writing this in your notes so that you know where it came from. Jacob, did you write it in your notes? Did you write this part in your notes from the video? Did you write it from the video? Okay. Okay, so let's make a 2 by 2 box. I try to make the box as even as possible so that my diagonals are easier to follow. Okay. So I've got my 2 by 2 box, and now I'm going to draw my diagonals. And I like to do those as dotted lines. Make sure you go through the corners of the boxes when you draw your diagonals. Okay, the neater you do it, the less likely of making a mistake. Okay, so we're going to take the polynomial on top, right? That's going to be our diagonal. 2x to the second minus 7x minus 4. And then the one on the bottom, I'm going to write that over on the side. If you write it on the top, that's okay. Doesn't matter. Okay. Now we're trying to figure out what goes on top. Okay. So once we have our box all set up, the first thing we're going to do is fill in the bottom corner and the top corner. So this diagonal is on the -4, so we're going to put a -4 there. The top corner, this diagonal, is 2x squared. So we do the top left and the bottom right first. We just write those in there based on the diagonal. Okay? Okay, now we have to do the math. There was no thinking. It's not a matter of, I don't get it, I don't understand it. There's nothing to understand. You're simply copying the number that's on the diagonal. Okay? Okay, now we have to figure out the math. What did I have to multiply this -4 by to get -4? 1. So that goes up here, 1. As soon as I get the number at the top of the column, I can fill in the rest of the column. So 1 times x equals x, or 1x, right? Okay. Now let's jump over to the 2x squared. What did I have to multiply x by to get 2x squared? 2x. So now I have that at the top of the column. I can fill in the rest of the column. 2x times negative 4 gives me negative 8x. Okay, we're going to double check our diagonals to make sure everything is okay. So this diagonal is just 2x squared. And then I've got this diagonal. I have x and negative 8x. Well, x plus negative 8 is negative 7x. So that worked out good. And then this diagonal is just negative 4, so that worked out good. So my answer, 2x squared minus 7x minus 4 divided by x minus 4 equals 2x plus 1. That's our answer. 2x times negative 4. Right? We do the column times the row. Okay. This is just like the multiplication tables you did in elementary school, right? So look, here's multiplication tables from elementary school. Let's see. Right? 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 5 is 10. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 5 is 15. These are multiplication tables that you did in elementary school. It's the same thing. We do the column times a row. 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times negative 4 is negative 8x. Okay? Okay, let's do another one. Let's do number 2. We have 3x squared plus 11x plus 6 divided by 3x plus 2. Okay, this is the same as the previous problem, right? Got x squared on top and x on the bottom, so it's going to be 2 rows and 2 columns.
Oh, wait, so how do you determine it?
I'm not going to go over that again. You can check the video on that.
You were literally supposed to write it down.
I probably said that 6 times.
She repeated it. She's telling you.
Okay, what goes on the side? What goes on the side over here?
3x.
3x
2.
plus 2. Okay, we're going to draw our diagonals. All the diagonals. Okay. So what goes on the diagonals?
3x squared.
3x squared. Good. Okay. So remember, division, this is the opposite of what we did with multiplication. When we did multiplication, our answer was what's on the diagonals, right? Remember that? So we're doing the opposite of that. We have our answer. We're trying to figure out what else to multiply by, right? Understanding this, if you understand multiplication, you understand this. Remember I did the example in the video? If I have 20 divided by 4, we know that equals 5, right? Well, we also know that 4 times 5 equals 20, right? So when I look at this problem, whatever I get as an answer, then that means that these two things multiplied together will equal 3x squared plus 11x plus 6. It's the same thing as basic arithmetic. 20 divided by 4 is 5. Well, I know that 4 times 5 equals 20. Okay, so if I do this division, whatever I get as my answer, If I multiply them together, they'll equal that. Okay. Okay, so let's figure it out. What do we fill in first? The corners, right?
Top right, top left, bottom right.
Okay, fill in the corners first. Okay. All right. So now let's work on the bottom. What do I have to multiply this 2 by to make it a 6? 3. So we're going to do plus 3. Okay. Now, as soon as we get that top of the column, we can fill in the rest of the column. So now we can do 3 times 3x, which gives me 9x. Okay. Let's go to the top left. What do I have to multiply 3x times to make it 3x squared? X. And we can double check ourselves. X times 3x is 3x squared. Okay, now we can fill in the rest of this column. X times 2 gives us 2x. Okay, so it looks like our answer is x plus 3, but we're going to check it to make sure. Okay, this diagonal matches up. 3x squared. Here we have 9x plus 2x, which gives us 11x. And then plus 6 matches up. So that works. So x plus 3. That means that 3x plus 2 times x plus 3 equals 3x squared plus 11x plus 6. That's how that works. And if we look at our table, x plus 3 times 3x plus 2 equals 3x squared plus 11x plus 6. Okay? Does that make sense? Do another one?
Yes, I'm starting to get it.
Okay, we're going to do another one because Ethan's starting to get it. All right, we have 8x squared plus 10x minus 3 divided by 2x plus 3. What size table should it be?
2.
2 by 2. Ethan, what size table should it be?
Give me 2 by 2.
Good. And then we draw our diagonals, right, Ethan?
Yep.
Okay. Timmy, where's the 2x plus 3 go? Where's the 2x plus 3 go? Timmy, where's the 2x plus 3 go? Sam, where's the 2x plus 3 go? On the right side. Good. Okay. Jacob, where's the 8x squared plus 10x minus 3 go? On the ends, on the diagonals, right. 8x squared plus 10x minus 3. Okay. Adriana, what's our next step?
I put 8x to the second in the top left.
Good.
Raspberry?
Yes?
Did we turn the fans on?
No.
Bro.
No.
Not? Turn the fans on. I got the next one.
Wyatt, what do we do next?
2x times 3.
2x times 3. Where do you get 2x times 3?
Oh, no,
Manuela, what do I do next?
Put -3 in the bottom right.
Put -3 in the bottom right. And why did we do that?
Because there's nothing else like there's nothing else that could.
Right. So this is on the diagonal there, and that diagonal only goes through that cell. Are you guys listening? Okay. Okay, Patrick. What now?
Do 2x times 8x.
what?
Wait, can I ask a question?
Nah, you get 4x.
Adriana, what's your question?
What do the diagonals have to do with the thing again?
The diagonals they're a good question. So the diagonals are telling us which terms to combine. So this diagonal is only going through 8x squared. This one in the middle, that means we have to combine that square and this square to get 10x.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
So you're just trying to find that one,
Which one?
the 10x. Like what?
Right now? No. No, right now I'm not trying to find the 10x. So which one are we going to try and find now? Patrick?
Bottom left.
Bottom left. So what do I do there?
Multiply. Wait. I don't know. I have it on my paper. I don't know how I did it.
Okay, so I would recommend not putting your head down on your desk,
Well, I already did the question.
but you don't know how to do it because you're not able to tell me. So-
4x minus 1.
But why?
That's how you do it.
Because you could read that off your paper.
Yeah, I did it in my head.
So tell me what to do. How do I get the 4x minus 1?
If it's in your head.
Eat your yawn.
So you know what I'm saying.
Stop.
God,
Move on to the
you
next
see
person.
you see the -3, right? You see the 3,
Uh-huh.
right? So you need to have a -1 on the top. To get
So why do I have to have a -1 on top? Can you tell me that
because
again?
it's a -3.
Because this is a -3.
Right. When you multiply -1 times +3, you get negative.
Good. Okay.
Ooh.
Very good. Right?
This
Do
stuff
not
has-
put your head down on your desk in this
Or
classroom.
you still not.
Do you ever see me do that? Okay. Cameron, what now?
So now I looked at what got to 8x and it's 4 because 2 times it's 4x because 2 times 4 is 8x squared.
Good job, Cam.
2x times 4x.
You are so smart. I don't know how you did that. Because
Is that not correct?
look, check it out. Look.
Okay, everybody else stay quiet.
Oh, you're right. My bad. No,
Everybody else stay quiet. Samuel, you are included in the everybody else conversation. I said everybody else stay quiet. Hey, Adriana, that includes you too. Okay. We have to figure out, Adriana. We have to figure out what we multiply this 2x by to make it an 8x squared. So 2 times 4 is 8. X times x is x squared. So I have to multiply it by 4x to get 8x squared. Okay, once we do that, now we can fill in the rest of the columns.
So therefore, all you're trying to find is 4x now.
Yes. We're going to fill in the rest of the columns so that we can check our diagonals. So -1 times 2 is -2x. And then I've got 4x times 3, which gives me 12x. We're going to check our diagonals. The 8x squared and the -3, those are given, they're automatic. So we have to check the middle. -2x plus 12x equals +10x. So everything works. So my answer is 4x minus 1. Okay. Okay. Last one from the homework. 3x squared plus 16x plus 5 divided by x plus 5. Okay. Timmy, what size square am I going to use? What size square am I using?
I'll do it.
Let me do it.
No, we're going to all stay quiet and give him time to think it through. Because he just sits there and waits for you all to interrupt him. What size square? 2 by 2. There you go. Good. 2 by 2 square. D'Angelo, what goes on the diagonals?
Okay, we'll go to the diagonals. So you got 3x squared on the top one, right? And then you're gonna put plus 16x squared. And then you're gonna go plus 5.
Good.
And then I feel like the rest of you want.
Adriana, what goes on the side?
I can do this too.
X and 5.
Good. X plus 5. Excellent. Okay. Michael, what now?
You got the 5, 3, 2.
Good. Very good. See, these are easy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do I multiply the 5 by to get a 5?
1.
Oh, I thought
3x.
I'm talking about
1. Awesome.
1.
Wait, do this part slowly.
yeah.
This is the only part iffy.
Why do I know there's a 1 that goes there?
Oh, it's just
Because
5.
five
If you multiply
times
the 1 by
one is
5, that's how
five.
you get 5.
5 times 1 is 5.
There we go.
So what I'm doing, okay, listen. I'm taking what's at the top of the column. Listen to me and not others. Taking what's at the top of the column and what's at the side of the row, and I multiply them together. The column times the row. So 1 times 5 gives me 5. Okay. Now I'm going to take the column times this row. So 1 times x, and I get x. Okay. Okay, Nico. What goes at the top of this column?
3x.
How do we know that?
Because 3x times 5 equals 5 times.
No, just everyone quiet so he can think.
3x
Don't look at your
times
paper.
5
You're just
equals
getting
that.
confused. Look up here.
You multiply. Well, click the other.
Look here. No, don't look at your paper.
5 times 3x.
No. Don't look at your paper. That's just confusing you. Use your brain. Use your brain. Hush. What is wrong with you guys?
Honestly.
Seriously, Rob, get it together.
You too. Okay. How did you get the 3x? Why do we put a 3? Has nothing to do with the 5.
I don't know why I'm forgetting. Like lost.
Cam?
So I looked at house 1x at top right, and I saw what can make it equal 16. And I saw 3 times.
Nope.
Oh, let me do it.
D'Angelo?
So, what you gotta do is this, right? You multiply 3x times 5. That's
No.
No? Okay.
Which one are
Bro,
we talking
what?
about?
Why did we put a 3x at the top
I know.
here?
Because you have to see what equals 3x
Because you got
squared.
it from the
Oh, because 3x equals.
Because
Because
3x times squared.
There you go. X
Multiply.
x times 3x equals 3x squared.
Oh, we were trying to find that out.
Let's go. I'm in the last box. Let's go.
Right?
Oh,
So now we'll do.
I-
Adriana, what's your question?
So when we got the 1, we were trying to find what equals 5.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, Ethan, what goes in the bottom corner?
15x squared.
No. What's 3x times 5?
Those is 15x.
15x.
Oh, no.
Okay, now does x plus 15x, does that equal 16x?
Yes.
So we're good. So what does this equal?
This equals 3x plus 1.
3x plus 1. Okay, I'm going to give you one to do by yourself.
Yes.
Is this our quiz?
No, this is not your quiz.
Can we take a test tomorrow?
Miss Mary, may I sharpen my pencil?
No,
Then how am I gonna write?
I don't know. Use your finger. I don't care.
Oh.
Take me. That's all you gotta say.
Hey, you need a pen?
Bro, I'm so simple.
What did he say?
Okay. Let's do 12x squared plus 7x minus 10 divided by 3x minus 2. Okay, we have a quiz tomorrow on this, on tabular division. I'm sorry, Wednesday rather. Wednesday on tabular division. Your iPad should be away, please.
Yeah.
iPad away at the end of it. Everybody should be doing this problem. Yeah, let's put 12x to the second in this box here. Oops. Okay, and then Ethan, what do we do now?
Now we gotta get the bottom right. You put negative 2 bottom right.
I'm sorry, say it again.
You put negative 2.
No.
Negative 10.
Austin?
We put negative 10.
Negative 10, because it's what the diagonal is.
Oh,
Okay.
that's what I say.
Okay, so let's see here. Rod, what now?
You gotta figure out what times 2 makes negative 10,
Okay,
and it's positive 5.
positive 5. Good. Excellent. Okay, then what? Jacob, what now?
4x on the top. I'll go on.
Yeah, you're right, but how did you get there, bro?
4x here? Why?
It's 12x squared.
Good, yeah. 4x times 3x equals 12x. Jacob, don't go back to sleep. Tim, get your stuff and move up here. Okay, Layla, what do I do now?
5 times 3 is 15x.
Yeah, we do the 5 times the 3x, which gives me 15x. Right here, please, so I can make sure you stay awake. 5 times 3x equals 15x. Okay, Nico, what now?
You have to put in you have to multiply the 4x times the negative 2, and then you put in negative 8x.
Good, excellent. Okay, so we've got everything filled in. We're just going to check ourselves. The only thing we have to check on this is the middle one. 15x and negative 8x equals positive 7x. So what you have to remember on your quiz is not to just stop there. You've actually got to put the answer. This equals 4x plus 5.
Oh.
I think we're ready.
Okay. Okay. Let's take it a step further.
Yay!
So number 5 from your homework that I did not assign, we're going to do that now. We have 2x to the third plus 13x squared plus 21x plus 9 divided by, you can sit behind Timmy. Thank you. Sit behind Timmy. Divided by x squared plus 5x plus 3. Okay. So first off, it's not going to be the same size because it's not just an x on the bottom, right? So let's figure it out. Let's figure out the rows.
You definitely need a 3x3, yeah.
The rows. How do we figure out the rows?
By however many on the bottom.
The bottom plus 1. So that's 3.
So if that is.
And the columns. Remember you copied these notes down in the beginning? Remember I kept saying, write this down, write this down, write this down. Remember that? Do you remember that?
Wait, which one are rows?
Rock in.
Rows are going across this way. Yes.
What is the difference between the rows and the
I just told you. The rows are going across this way. I just said it like 2 seconds ago.
We need to lock in.
I just can't hear it because other people
Lock
are
in.
talking.
All right, the columns. What do we do with the columns? Yes, Cam.
Don't you add the exponent?
No.
The 3?
No.
Oh, I'm wrong. Sorry.
What do we do with the columns? Austin, what do we do to figure out the columns?
We do parentheses.
What?
Oh wait, hold up 1 second.
Shh. Everybody be quiet.
Adrian, why are you laughing?
Hey. Thank you. Adriana, what do I do to find the columns?
You take the difference in the exponents.
Which is?
Three.
D'Angelo, what do I do?
5 minus
Well,
2.
difference. The exponents. We're on number 5, as you can see. So we're going to do 3 minus 2, and that is going to give us 1.
3 minus
What
2
about the 2
You're
next
not
to
done
X?
yet. You've got a
It's
plus
just the
1.
first
Out of
plus 1. Yes.
There we go.
So this is 2. The exponents, not the number in front of the x, the exponents.
What is that on the bottom?
It's an exponent.
That's,
Yeah, that belongs to 2x.
I was just underlining the 2 because when we found the rows.
So the columns have nothing to do with the bottom.
Yes, they do. 3 minus 2.
So where's the other 2?
What other 2?
The other X2.
This 2 right here?
No. X. She's talking about X2
13
and
X.
X.
This one
Yes.
has nothing to do with it.
Why?
Because 3x is smaller. The exponent is not very good.
Oh my god, I thought I was going crazy.
Okay. We're talking about what we call the degree of the polynomial. The degree of the polynomial only comes from the biggest exponent. Okay, you in the middle of me talking, you turned away. Okay? You guys, I'm not going to do this all year. You all think that this is a big game.
I'm literally asking a question and they're talking.
I know, Adriana. I know. Yes.
The box, like a normal box, but then like another layer on the bottom.
I'll show you that in a minute. I'll show you in a minute. Okay, I want everybody. Okay. Oh my word.
Miss Marie's trying to speak.
Get the ruler.
And stop looking at her. You need to stop looking at everybody
Oh,
around you.
we when they're
You need to look at me, Adriana.
no.
Because when you're looking at me, you can wonder. You need to stop letting these clowns. D'Angelo, look at me. Stop being a clown. don't know why you guys think that this is a big joke, because you know what? I am perfectly fine. Perfectly fine just continuing and continuing and continuing. Hey, it's your grades. It's your grades. Where are you going?
I guess we have to touch these plans.
No, sit down. What in the world is the problem with you guys? I don't get it. I really don't. I don't know why you think it's funny, D'Angelo. Yes, you were. Don't even act so innocent with me. Najee, why is this funny? Tell me why it's funny. We have quiz tomorrow. I'll just stop right here. I'll give you your homework, which you will have absolutely no idea how to do.
You was right. Will not know how to do it.
Is it on this?
So you all need to stop. Every time somebody asks a question, you need to all shut your mouth. Because they're not asking you the question. And every time somebody gets something wrong, you need to shut your mouth. Because it has nothing to do with you. I'm not going to do this with you all year. You want me to ignore you and I'll just plow through the material? We can do that. We can do that. That's okay. You all think it's funny. You'll think it's funny right to your parents when they look at your F. You think it's funny. Oh, a bunch of doofuses. I don't get it. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Patrick, what?
So I had a question about the math. If the 2, if it doesn't come from the exponent, where does it come from?
Let me think. I'll go back through and explain this again in a moment. Okay? You need to all write this down. This is the last time that I will tell you how to figure out the rows and columns. The last time. You should have a pencil in your hand ready to write it down. Because this is not hard. The rows and the columns, we look at what we call the degree of the polynomial. The degree comes from the leading exponent, the highest exponent. So when we're talking about the rows, we look at the highest exponent on the bottom in the denominator. I even have to talk like you guys are in elementary school. I can't even use words like denominator or dividend. It's like I have to use baby words. Not because you're not smart.
It's not because I know those words mean.
Because you all don't listen. So the leading exponent is a 2. So we do 2 and we always add 1. That gives us a number of rows. The columns, we take the leading exponent on top, the biggest exponent on top, and we subtract the biggest exponent on the bottom. So we have 3 minus 2. And then we always do what? Plus 1. So that gives us 2. So that means our rows go this way, and our columns go this way. We have 3 rows and 2 columns. Jacob, you had a question?
Never really had to do the rows and columns thing.
You're not happy with it?
I get the same answer every time. Do I have to have that?
I'm not sure what the question is.
Like when you do the 2 plus 1 equals 0, like I've never done that. Like I haven't had to.
And you figured out how many rows to have?
Yes.
That's fine if you figured out how many rows to have. Yep. Adriana?
So however many numbers there are for diagonals.
If you do the rows and the columns the way we just did, the diagonals will automatically work out. The diagonal goes through the corners of the boxes. Right, so if we go through the corner, it leads us right to the next box and there's a corner. So it will automatically work out to be correct. Okay. Okay. So that means in the diagonal we have 2x to the third, 13x squared, 21x, and 9. Okay. And along the side, we have x squared plus 5x plus 3. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We start with the bottom right-hand corner. So we put a 9 there to match this diagonal. And then in the top left, we put our 2x to the third. You always put your bottom right corner and your top left corner. Okay? All right. Now, MJ, what do I have to multiply the 3 by to get a 9? 3. So that goes up here at the top of the column. Now we can fill in the rest of this column. We have 3 times x squared. What does that equal? 3x squared. We have 3 times 5x, which gives us 15x. Right? So as soon as we got that 3, we could finish that column. Okay. Let's figure out this one. What do I have to multiply the x squared by to get 2x to the third? 2x. There you go. Now we can finish the rest of that column. 2x times 5x gives me 10x squared. 2x times 3 gives me 6x. Yes.
Can I please have Najee Hazelton with his keys to the front office?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to check our diagonals. Checking our diagonals. This one goes to 2x to the third. That's good. Our diagonals line up the like terms for us. We have 3x squared and 10x squared, so that gives us a 13x squared. We have 15x and 6x. That gives us 21x. And then we have the 9. So everything worked out correctly. So this equals 2x plus 3. Okay, let's see, how much time do we have left?
8 minutes.
Yeah, we didn't even learn the new lesson.
We're not going to do a quiz.
Was that not the new lesson?
This is not the new lesson, no.
The third brother is not the.
No.
Hey.
Yes, ma'am.
I can still take my test after school today, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's do this one. How many rows? How many rows?
5.
Look at your notes. Look at your notes. How many rows?
4.
How do we know how many rows?
It's 3. 4. It's
4 plus 1 is 5.
How do we know how many rows?
Exponent plus 1.
Which exponent?
Leading
Top or bottom?
5.
The first top
5
exponent.
rows.
No, it's
The highest degree.
That's why I said.
Look at this example. What did we do in this example?
You grab the highest grade exponent on the top.
The highest exponent and you added it to the lowest
Wait,
exponent.
you subtract
it's
those?
2 rows.
Or the highest exponent on the bottom.
There's
It's minus.
rows.
Three.
Yeah,
It's 5 rows.
Four.
It's
Five
10
rows.
rows. It's
Did-
5 rows.
There's a
Five rows.
one
Just
next to
amount
the
of
X.
numbers on the top line.
It's
two
two
rows.
rows.
It's 5.
It's 3.
Where do
It's
you
two
see
rows
two at the
with
bottom?
columns.
There's a 1.
No, it says X. There's no X squared.
Oh, yeah.
How many
Then you add
columns?
Three.
Oh,
No,
Three.
four.
one. Four.
5. It's
You
5.
guys are hurting my brain.
It's 5.
You always add one.
Hey.
Four.
Whoa, there's only 2 numbers.
Wait, we didn't cancel out. Why would you need to subtract when?
It only cancels out because it happened to be 1 in the denominator. If this was not 1, it wouldn't cancel out.
Oh, okay. Wait, that's your problem.
Oh.
Michael, yes.
I put in the columns in the first problem you did 4 minus 2. And now we're doing 4 minus 1.
It depends on the exponent in the bottom.
Okay. Can I see the problem?
It's in your note packet. It's number 6 on the homework. It's number 6 in the homework. Yep. Okay. Put our 6 in the corner here. And put our x to the 4th up here. What do we have to multiply the 2 by to make it a 6? 3. Okay. So now we can fill in the rest of that column. So this is going to be 3x. Okay. So this one, what are we going to put up top?
X to the third.
X to the 3rd. So now we can do the rest of that column. 2x to the 3rd. So this one's going to take a little more work. Okay, we filled in everything we could based on that. Now we've got to figure the other blanks out. Right? If I look at this diagonal for the 7x to the 3rd, follow the diagonal. I already have 2x to the 3rd. How many more do I need? 5. I need 5x to the 3rd here. This has to be a 5x to the 3rd because that diagonal has to add up to 7x to the 3rd. So now I can figure out what goes at the top of that column. What do I multiply the x by? 5x squared. Because x times 5x to the 2nd is 5x to the 3rd. Now I can finish this column. We get 10x squared. Okay. So let's look at this diagonal. This diagonal is 10x squared. So what's going to go in that box up here?
1.
And that gives
0. Because I already have 10x squared. I don't need anything else. So that's a 0. Which means this is a 0.
The diagonal line is still in that box.
So this is a 0.
Wait, so did you just like
Because 0 times
Yes.
like upwards?
Yes.
Oh.
That's wild.
Okay, so what do we get? We get x to the 3rd plus 5x squared plus 3. Okay?
How do you know if there's 0?
Because I already had 10x squared, and it's 10x squared on the diagonal. Okay. Okay, I guess we'll stop there.
Wait, so what would the answer be? Oh, yeah.
We have a quiz tomorrow.
Yes.